Britain is brimming with hoarders.
In these boxes?
I have no idea.
There's the body in here somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Their collecting is catastrophic. And they're drowning under clutter.
Oh!
But help is at hand.
I do. I need a lot of help.
Collectibles expert Curtis Dowling will work out what is worth cashing in.
They're selling for hundreds, if not thousands of pounds.
Excellent.
Make me an offer.
While queens of clean, Joanna Riley and Marianne Kamak will sort out what to keep and what to chuck.
Anything would be a little better than what we have here.
I think I'm going to have to be quite firm.
Clearing rooms for the first time in years.
Now that's better, isn't it?
This is fabulous.
No one said it would be easy.
I am petrified.
So can our hoarders bear to part with their possessions
Just be gentle with it.
and reclaim their homes for good?
10 years worth of piling it up.
Today, a costume designer whose love of all things haberdashery has taken over her cottage.
It's so daunting. I really want it to be tidied up.
And she faces a massive challenge if she's to achieve her end goal.
I want to use it as a workshop.
That's a long shot, isn't it?
And will be with a mother of 4. Her love of curious bits and bobs has led to a serious clutter issue.
I love going to the car boot sales. It's like every woman's dream shopping mall.
Will Curtis be able to make her the cash she's looking to raise?
There's £1 for the fund.
Oh, thank you.
Today, our SOS team are helping 2 hoarders. Later, they'll lend a hand to mother of 4, Lisa.
I think I've always been a bit of a hoarder, to be fair. When I moved from my last house, the removal people came and they just sort of dumped everything everywhere.
But first, in Chester, meet costume designer and prop maker Lillian and one of her creations.
This spell book, which has all been made out of recycled materials. This is all bits of rope, paper mache. I even made a little hinge where this opens and closes.
She's lived in this cottage for 17 years and shares it with 4 cats and a lot of clutter.
Buttons, feathers, clothes. I've got all my haberdashery type stuff is in there.
And there, and there, and there. Her upstairs workroom is not the only place that fabric has taken over. Outside in the garden, there is a shed which is bulging at the seams.
People keep phoning me up and say, Lily, you must have this. And I'm going, yeah, I might have it, but I can't get to it. Because once I get in the shed, I can't get out.
Lillian needs a fairy godmother and father.
I need a magic wand. If anyone can help, I'd be very grateful.
Luckily, our 2 experts are here.
And here we are, a lovely little cottage in
It's
Chester.
a very sweet place.
Curtis has been valuing antiques for 25 years.
Very pretty.
Hi, Lillian.
Hello.
Marianne.
And cleaning guru Marianne runs a successful B&B business, so she will help Lillian declutter.
Not the most cluttered room I've ever seen in my entire life.
Actually quite homely.
Wait until you see the shed, Marianne.
I don't know what's going to happen if I open it. Oh, God. Ah!
Oh, Lord.
Oh, God.
I mean, what do you long-term want to do with this shed?
I want to use it as a workshop.
That's a long shot, isn't it?
It's embarrassing.
So what we need to do, Lillian, is to take everything out so at least you and I can get in there, because a lot of this, I'm sure, can be either to charity or literally just binned. But I wouldn't even know where to start here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
My love, you really have got into a pickle here.
I have. I'm ashamed.
No, you shouldn't be ashamed. That's why I'm here, and we're here to help.
Back inside the cottage, it's not just Lillian's workroom that is chock-a-block. There are collectibles everywhere. Curtis is on the prowl and it's looking positive.
Oh, now, these are nice.
Oh, they belong to my husband.
OK, so it's a projector, we know that. It's in good condition, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it still works.
Lillian's late husband, Bruce, was a well-known and respected film and TV cameraman. He was also passionate about history and collected many of the items in the cottage, like this projector.
I mean, these things are very, very collectible.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that are fascinated still with the old film industry as it was. You know, it's
It's a beautiful piece of machinery.
isn't it just?
Really.
That's got a reasonable value, I would suggest. I mean, do you want to get rid of it is the first question.
Well, it's a shame that it's just sitting there collecting dust, to be honest with you. But
No emotional attachment to it anymore.
no.
That's got to be £70 or £80. Lillian's film projectors and film equipment is a very specialist market. Problem for me is just finding the right buyer, because I definitely don't want to disappoint her when I turn that check into her.
No, you don't. Marianne's delving further into the shed to try and work out what Lillian should keep and get rid of.
I can't believe that somebody can just get into such a mess like this. They just piled stuff on top of clutter, boxes on top of things, bags, thinking it's just going to go away.
I absolutely love going to, say, like the shed and not break my neck or lose a shoe, because I've gone in there before now. My shoe's got caught underneath something and I can't find it.
A bit of bling.
I want to be able to go like that across a whole service without going.
The solution to something like this is not a quick fix. We need to evaluate what we're going to keep and what needs to go to charity. It's something that will take time, but, you know, we can get there.
Fingers crossed. Meanwhile, Lillian's taken Curtis up to her workroom on the first floor of the cottage.
Crikey, this has got a lot of stuff in, hasn't it?
Yeah, this is my workroom, which isn't working at the minute.
Who's the book collector then?
Well, it's a cross between me and some of them were Bruce's, but a lot of them are mine, because a lot of them are like costume books.
Lillian would like to sell some of those old books to raise money for a holiday in Japan with her daughter.
What's the story behind this then?
She's picked out 2 copies of the same book, an illustrated history of England. One's Victorian and one's modern, and the pair were of special significance to Lillian and husband Bruce.
But it's really odd, actually, because I told you Bruce was into history. And when he moved in, he brought that book with him. At the same time, I bought that.
That's a fairly newish book.
Gosh, yeah.
And not a great deal of value in newish books.
No.
But as a companion piece to this, it helps us a lot.
The older book is potentially more collectible.
Now, we've got to try and talk about how much this is worth. It's not an easy question to answer. I think I need to get this to an antiquities book dealer. What did you pay for it? Do you remember?
I only paid about £3 or £4 for it.
I think it might be worth a little bit more, but we
Yeah.
just don't know
Yeah.
how much more.
That's a pair of books to take away, but Lillian has a much larger collection.
I've noticed all those books up there.
Oh, God, yeah. Ladybird books. I've got about 200 of those.
Wow, that's a lot of Ladybird books.
Yeah.
And you want to get rid of them?
Got 2s and 3s of some, actually.
Oh,
So,
OK. They are very, very collectible
Yeah.
now. You know, a collection of like that, at very least £50, £60. You know, if you want something like £1,000 spending money in Japan, you know, all these bits are going to start taking big chunks out of that. You're happy to get rid of them, though?
yeah. Well, look what they're doing. They're just there.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So, after an afternoon rummaging through Lillian's cottage, Curtis has accumulated an armful of eclectic antiques, including a film projector, 2 history books, 1 antique, and 1 more contemporary, and a collection of children's Ladybird books, all from which he hopes to raise some cash for Lillian.
Isn't she a lovely lady?
She's lovely. Absolutely gorgeous, Curtis. She's generally very pleased that we're here, but also a little anxious.
And I've got all that film mobilia to sell. I think Lillian is going to be pleasantly surprised with what I can achieve for her. I guess you've got some...
Shed clearing. Best I crack on.
Well, I'll follow you.
So Marianne stays behind to help Lillian decide what to keep and clear out. Curtis has brought 100 of her Ladybird books to a traditional toy shop in Glasgow. Try not to get distracted now.
Miffy, you see? Miffy.
Oh dear, we've lost him. Shopkeeper Wilma is waiting.
Where better to come to sell books than the toy shop?
Yeah. They're still very popular. We have these ones here, which have all been republished maybe about 1.5 years ago now.
Yeah. Right, let's get down to business. There's 100 here. I've got a figure in mind. I think they're worth £1 each.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got 100. So can we agree on £100?
I think we can, yeah.
Do you know what? That's got to be one of the easiest, happiest sales I've made. Where better to make a sale than a toy shop?
There we go.
Right, £100.
£100.
Job done.
That's an excellent start towards Lillian's holiday in Japan. Lillian isn't alone in seeking help from our declutter experts. Meet Lisa. She's a busy mum with 4 kids, 1 grandchild. Oh, and there's Oggy, and that's Scampy, and a whole lot of clutter.
When I moved from my last house, I had 2.5 days to move. So I had 3 children under 5, and I was on my own. The removal people came and they just sort of dumped everything everywhere. And I had a lot of stuff. I think I've always been a bit of a hoarder, to be fair.
Before kids, Lisa spent 10 years travelling the world and seems to have brought a lot of it back with her. And then there are her shopping habits.
I love going to the car boot sales because it's such an eclectic mix of stuff. It's like every woman's dream shopping mall. That's one way to put it, eh?
Now the living room is chocker,
Busy looking house.
as are her 2 outhouses, the summer house and the shed she uses to make crafts.
In the shed, there is a mix of furniture that shouldn't be there. I do make dream catchers, everything that I need to make anything. It's just all higgledy-piggledy.
Luckily, cash for clutter connoisseur Curtis has arrived and is on the hunt for things to sell.
That's a nice bucket. What a great shoe last.
Nice things, but can Curtis track down some treasure to pull in a profit for Lisa?
Now that's old and handmade.
And in the corner of the living room is something that might prove fruitful.
Why have you got a fruit machine in your house?
It's a giant piggy bank. So a £3 or £4 at the end of the night, I'll put it in there, and if I win, I just put it back in. And I thought that was going to be our holiday fund.
How did you get it? Where's it from?
Well, I've thought about getting one over the years, and this one came up on offer for me, and I managed to beat the guy down and beat him down, so I got it for a bargain. So I thought, yes, we'll have that.
So is it staying or going?
I would be happy for it to go, to be fair, just because it's so big.
Yeah. What sort of price do you think would be the right price?
I think about £200.
You didn't pay £200 for it then?
A lot less than £100.
And it works?
It works perfectly. I've got the keys, the manual. It's like I've got £400 in it already.
So can I have a go?
Of course you can.
Right. I've got a confession to make.
Oh.
I've never played one.
Never ever?
No.
Oh, you've got to have a go.
See if I can take your holiday fund off you.
Oh, that's a lucky one. Yay, you're a winner.
Well, look at that. There's £1 for the fund.
Oh, thank you.
Gambling doesn't pay, you know. But Curtis hopes the machine will deliver some cash for Lisa. Still to come, Lisa has more treasures tucked away.
So keeping or staying or going or what?
And Marianne tries to help Lillian face up to her overflowing shed.
I'm laughing because otherwise I think I'll cry.
In Chester, decluttering expert Marianne is on a mission to help costume designer Lillian tidy up her cottage, shed and upstairs workroom.
I mean, do you have any idea where anything is?
And in Perth, cash for clutter guru Curtis is with mum of 4 Lisa, looking for things of value to sell amongst her keepsakes picked up from her travels abroad and her love of car boot sales. The fruit machine could make some money, and now Lisa's dug out an abacus.
So you bought this?
Yeah.
Any idea when and how much?
Probably about 12 years ago, 15 years ago. Maybe a couple of quid or something from the boot sale. Nothing expensive.
Well, it's a known brand. It's Lotus Flower.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what these are made of.
All right.
You thought they were ebony, didn't you?
Just because it was so
Just
nice
the
to be black, yeah.
So keeping or staying or going or what?
If it's worth getting rid of, I'll get rid of it. And if not, I'll learn how to use it.
Right, I think that's fair enough. Lisa's house is full of bits and pieces. It's not going to be about selling 2 or 3 key items to make her big money for this holiday. It's going to be about selling lots of items for small amounts. That really means I've got my work cut out on this.
In Chester, Marianne is still struggling with Lillian's overflowing shed.
Oh, God. I'm laughing because otherwise I think I'll cry.
Look at the funny side now, because we're here to do it. How did it get to being quite messy and disorganised?
It seemed to be after my husband died.
Right.
I sort of lost it a little bit.
I can understand, and that's a difficult time.
Yeah.
You lose your way a little bit.
Yeah, I did. Because this used to be a lot neater than it was. I mean, he was a clean freak, so he used to tidy up constantly.
You tend to just pile things in and shut the door and forget about it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
How long has this been going on?
Well, Bruce has been dead 11 years, so it's been going on for about 11 years. When he died, I think I went a bit, I don't know, I just decided I needed to buy things, so I ended up just practically buying anything. All the people I know, they've all got these beautiful houses that are so neat and tidy and clean. And then people come here and I'm actually getting fed up of saying, oh, I'm really sorry, I haven't finished tidying up yet. And really, I sometimes just can't be bothered. It does upset me so much. I'm sorry. And that's why I need help.
The emotion is overtaking me helping her at the moment. But I will get there, I know I will. I know she'll come out feeling more positive and better from it.
Just by deciding to declutter, Lillian's already made a big step.
Are you feeling more positive about it all now?
A little bit.
That we're here to help you?
Yeah. Most of me is embarrassed because I just didn't realise. Looking at it now, I'm looking at it with new eyes, and it's like, what the heck have I done?
Marianne advises Lillian that the shed needs to be emptied completely, and then she'll need to be ruthless with the stuff she doesn't want. So next, they head inside the cottage to work out what needs to be done upstairs in the workroom.
It doesn't look as chaotic as what I saw downstairs in the shed.
No.
And this looks, you know, like there is some sort of
organised chaos, really.
That's the word.
Yeah.
Organised chaos.
Yeah.
Would you believe? Where do you see you want this room to go? Where do you want to? How do you want this to end up?
I want to be able to use the table for a start,
Right.
because I can't use the table because it's just got so much stuff on it.
You've got to be brutal and get rid of what you really think, because otherwise what you're doing is just getting rid of a few things and then still keeping a lot of stuff that really isn't going to be of any use. It just needs the floor sorted out a little bit.
It'd be nice to be able to move around in it.
And also, I mean, me in my organised head now here, could shuffle that bookshelf along. We could almost put that there, and then you've got this space here.
Before the bookshelves can be moved, though, they need to be cleared.
So, Lillian, where do you want to start by making the first attempt to get rid of some books?
Well, I can get rid of things like some of these like self-help books and things like that, because they haven't helped me. So
What about these sort of books?
some of these can go.
What about brain power?
Yeah, well, I haven't got any anymore, so that can go.
Marianne has made that all-important start with Lillian, with a clear plan to sort through her books, then rearrange her bookshelves.
This is what we want to do, de-stress you.
Now she can leave Lillian to carry on alone. In Perth, Lisa's taken Curtis to one of her 2 outhouses to search for sellable items from the clutters she's collected from her foreign travels and from purchases from car boot sales.
Now, this is nice.
It's like it.
Yeah, I think it's lovely. What's the story behind this?
A friend who passed away gave it to me. And I think it's French slate, but that's all I really know about it.
Does it work?
Yeah.
Key?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Doesn't want to go in.
That's maybe not the right key.
Yeah, that's not the right key. So we won't know if it works at the moment. So you're happy for me to take this away and sell it on your
Certainly.
behalf?
Yes.
Good. Now we just got to find the key and make it work, haven't we?
So while Curtis has been gathering items to sell, decluttering Lisa's home is yet to kick off. But now Marianne has arrived, And Lisa decides the best place to start is her shed.
So, Lisa, tell me what you want out of this room.
I would like the space back and it to be organised.
Right.
So if it's organised and set up just like a wee craft room and everything's where it should be and organised is what I really want. So
And this is somewhere where you want to sit and be able to have a little bit of me time.
Yeah.
Make your crafts. Lisa is such a lovely lady. I would love to declutter the shed, make it the craft room that she's so keen on having and giving herself me time. But that's why I'm here to help her.
Outside, Lisa's youngest son, 10-year-old Oshan, reckons he's found something that could be useful for Lisa's clock.
Curtis, I think I've found the key.
Oh, brilliant. Should we give it a wind? Well, you do it. It's your mum's clock.
Thank you.
I think you've got to turn it that way.
If the clock works, it will be worth more money.
Can you hear anything?
No.
No, not can I. What do you think of it?
It's cool.
Well, we don't want to overwind it, do we?
Nah. We could maybe take it to a clockmaker because it might just be a little thing that's broken. And even if you can't fix it, you can just use it as some sort of ornament.
You've got it.
Well, with the correct key, the clock stands a better chance of making some money. Lisa has earmarked a few items she's happy to part with, including that hopefully fruitful fruit machine, and Curtis heads off armed with a collection of Lisa's smaller items, including the abacus, a watch, and a teapot.
How you getting on?
Great. I really like Lisa. She's a warm, kind-hearted person. Everything that she does is for her children.
Wonderful.
And why not? Why wouldn't you? But how did you get on?
Well, she's got lots of interesting things in here, hasn't she? She's so unmaterialistic and so giving. If we can just come back and you can give her that free space to do her craft and I can give her enough money to go on holiday, I think we've really done a fabulous job.
When you actually think she's not asking for a huge amount, is she?
No. For Lisa, I want as much as I can possibly get.
Get selling then, Mr. Curtis. So Marianne stays behind to carry on decluttering. Curtis is hoping to get some valuations on two of Lisa's pricier items from clockmaker and jewellery expert Douglas. He'll bring the clock later, but is starting with a classic 1930s watch. But there's bad news.
So the movement in the watch has been replaced.
It has been replaced.
And that has seriously affected the value?
Absolutely.
How much are we looking at?
150 to 200 at the outside.
Even at £150, that's a reasonable sum of cash in Lisa's pot for a holiday, though, isn't it?
Every little helps.
Marvellous. OK, well, thank you ever so much, Douglas.
Still to come, Marianne gets sweeping.
I bet that was worth some money in its time.
And Curtis tries to sell two old history books.
Couple of books for you to look at.
Let's have a wee look here.
Perth decluttering dynamos Curtis and Marianne are helping Lisa clear out her home and two outhouses, which were overflowing with knickknacks from her travels abroad and car boot sales.
So you're happy for me to take this away and sell it on your behalf?
Yes.
Good.
And in Chester, Curtis is on a mission to sell costume designer Lillian's eclectic antiques for as much cash as he can and create a clear space for Lillian in her workroom.
This could be the only one that's left, or there might be thousands of them.
Now the experts have left her to it, Lillian's continuing the momentous task of decluttering her haberdashery mountain alone.
Being a proverbial magpie.
Starting with the table in her upstairs workroom she is keen to clear.
Oh, that's bin. Rubbish. It'll be so nice just to not have it there, and to be able to breathe in a space and work in a space that I haven't been able to work in for about a year now. I don't even know what half of these things are. I think that's seen better days, hasn't it? I think. It's never going to look like a show home, but I just wish we had Mary Poppins here so we could just go like that. What I end up doing is just moving things from one side of the desk to the other. Yay! a whole bag emptied, yay.
Lillian's making excellent progress, but there's still heaps of fabric and odds and ends to work through.
So much dust.
Up in Scotland, Curtis is on a mission to add to the £100 he's already made for Lillian's holiday fund. He's come to an antique shop to see if he can sell late husband Bruce's projector.
Now, I have to be honest, I don't know a lot about projectors or the value of them. I do know it's old, and I do know it's really interesting, but to sell it to him, he's got to be able to sell it himself.
Time to meet dealer Andre.
Right, this is the projector I wanted to show you.
Uh-huh.
Now, I don't know an awful lot about projectors, but I'm sure you do.
It's a nice projector.
What year is it, do you think?
Probably 1920s, 1930s.
OK.
I've had one, not that exact same model, which I sold for, I think, about 45 quid, but that was 6 months ago.
So if I was trying to get you to buy it, what would you pay for it?
20, 25 quid. That would be the maximum.
I don't know whether at that sort of level she might be better off putting it back on her shelf.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think I'm going to send it back to her.
Yep, OK.
But I'm grateful for your time.
That's quite all right.
Thank you, Andre. You're
You're
very
welcome.
kind.
Thank you.
I didn't sell the projector. I couldn't let it go for that price. I think she's got quite a lot of emotion attached to it still, and to go back with just that small amount of money for something that her husband loved and treasured just didn't seem right. So in some ways, I'm quite glad I didn't sell it.
I wonder if Lillian will feel the same way. In Perth, Marianne is with Lisa in one of her 2 outhouses, formulating a declutter plan.
You tell me what you want to do in here.
Well, it's just got filled with stuff. There's a washing machine, a fridge, kettle. You can see what's here.
And you want to utilise some of the things in here?
Yeah.
Like this is quite good for shelving, isn't it? Once up against the wall.
Yeah, that's what I thought,
And
yeah.
move what you don't need out.
Yes.
It may not look like a huge task, but for Lisa, decluttering would take a huge physical effort. Before Ocean was born, she suffered a traumatic incident.
2005, I had a car accident, which I nearly died in. I had the whole right side of my rib cage broke. I had 8 broken ribs, 2 broken collarbones, a broken shoulder, a hole in my lung, and the surgeons told my mum, don't hold your breath, it doesn't look good. My mum begged the surgeon, says, I don't care what you do, just make her live. So they made me live, and here I am to tell the tale. Sorry. I've got to be careful because my arms didn't move the way they moved and my body doesn't move the way it moved, so life is precious, didn't get me wrong, but it's harder now than it was before the accident.
Help is here now. So while Lisa has a bit of grandma time with her daughter Ayla and 10-month-old Rose, Marianne's getting stuck in.
Let's have a look round here. She's got everything that most people would have in a craft room. She's got her little bits and pieces and her scissors and her ribbons. Are you dancing? I'm dancing, Granny. It's just the rest of the clutter in here, really, that we need to get out.
Granny's house isn't going to look the same for much longer.
I mean, this is something else, this is. Bissell's Grand Rapid Floor Sweeper. Let's see if it works. You know, I actually think it is picking up a tiny bit.
If you say so. Marianne is helping Lisa realise that in order to declutter, she really needs to get rid of the items that don't belong in the craft room. Now it's time for her to leave Lisa to carry on with friends and family. In Chester, costume designer Lillian's pal Wendy has arrived to give her a hand.
Wendy, I'm really sorry I've dragged you into this.
I'm actually really excited I've been dragged into this, to be honest with you. I think
it's awful.
It's like an Aladdin's cave. I'm a bit of a closet hoarder myself, really. So I understand how easy it is to gather too much stuff very quickly and maybe not realise that you've got that much stuff. So I've come round to give her a hand.
I think this can go to charity, this, because I think things that look slightly vintage, I'll try and sell.
Stuff like this at a car boot sale goes.
Yeah.
We had those when we were kids.
I didn't realise there was so much stuff. I wish I'd have cut down on stuff back in the day. I wish there was, like, you know, if you could have a magic wand and just go like that and it was all done.
Lillian and Wendy have made enormous strides clearing the workroom, sorting out Lillian's haberdashery into bags for charity, for sale, for the tip, and some which will be given away. So much so that Lillian's work table is finally clear.
Oh, bye-bye. Have a nice life. Bye. High five.
Curtis is armed with Lillian's Old England books and hopes to get more than the few pounds she paid for them.
I'm taking Lillian's books to see a guy who's been selling books for 55 years. She thinks they might have some value. If anyone's going to know, it's going to be this guy, surely.
Over to you, Paul.
Afternoon.
Oh, good afternoon.
Couple of books for you to look at.
Let's have a wee look, dear. Unfortunately, with this one, the condition of it is not suitable. It's not suitable for us anyway.
It's been well used, hasn't it?
Yes, well, it's been looked at.
That's the older, more valuable book rejected.
OK.
What about the more modern one?
This one is water damaged, unfortunately.
So if I bought this to you in perfect condition...
Oh, if you brought that to me...
What would you offer me for it?
The two.
Yeah.
The two, maybe about 40 or 50 pounds.
And in this condition?
I wouldn't be interested in them.
Ah, well, he tried. Back in Chester, it's been almost 8 weeks since Marianne left Lillian to crack on with the clear-out, and she's making a few last adjustments.
I've worked really hard on this. It's been literally blood, sweat and tears. It had to be done, to be honest, and I'm glad I've done it. And I think my late husband would be amazed to see that in here.
Someone else might be amazed too, as Marianne's on her way to see how she's got on and to give her her cash for clutter total.
Hello, Lillian.
Hello.
Lovely to see you again.
Hi.
I see you've changed the colour of the shed already.
I have, yeah.
Are you going to show me inside?
Yes, yeah, come in.
Lillian's home and shed had been swamped by humongous hills of haberdashery. The shed was piled so high with fabric and creations, Lillian didn't even dare go in for fear of never being able to get out again. But now it's been reorganised and has been transformed into a useful space for storing her materials so she can get to them all.
What do you think?
This is fantastic, Lillian. There is no... Honestly, I couldn't even get in the door.
I just dragged everything out.
And started from the beginning. But this is wonderful.
I know.
This is really good.
I'm absolutely loving the space and I can breathe in here.
It's great, Lillian.
I'm
it's wonderful what you've done.
I'm glad you've seen the difference anyway, because it helps.
Of course. Who wouldn't see the difference?
It's true. The shed has been transformed and there's more to see inside the house.
How did you get boxes down these stairs?
In the workroom upstairs, Lillian's been super busy too. Before, it was heaving with haberdashery and books, to the point where Lillian couldn't even use her desk to work. Now the shelves are stripped down and orderly, and the desk is clear to provide the creative space for Lillian to design hats, costumes, and anything else she fancies.
Wow. Yet you've blown me away again. It's fantastic.
I'm really pleased.
All this space, you've taken on board when I said about the books and everything and moving the shelves round, and it's just brilliant. Are you pleased?
I'm really pleased, yeah.
Lillian should be proud. She's moved out 2 van loads and 2 car loads of clutter, given away heaps of fabric to friends, and sent off 3 large boxes to charity. She's also sold craft supplies, fabrics and vintage handbags online.
So, Lillian, I'm really, really pleased with everything that you've achieved. And you're feeling more positive now that you've got the space to enjoy the things that you want to do in each room. How much money have you made on the items that you've sold?
I think possibly about 200 quid, I think.
Well, that's great. Because we have made just shy of £135.
Wow.
So, putting that together, £335
quid. It's not too bad.
That's not bad.
No, a little bit towards some spending money, isn't it?
Exactly.
At least, yeah. It's
So
better
that's
than
fab.
Yeah.
With Curtis having made £100 from the Ladybird books, topped up with online sales of board games, a porcelain bowl and a phone, along with Lillian's own sales of £200, it's a great start towards her Japanese holiday fund.
You know, Lillian has now got the space for the hobbies that she really loves doing, and then we've got her a little bit of extra spending money for her to go on that fabulous holiday that she so really deserves.
Still to come, Lisa and her kids get stuck into decluttering.
Right, let's take all this in. That's going to the skip, son, so you put that in that corner.
And Curtis pays a visit to tell her how much money's been raised.
So let's see where we are. At the moment...
In Perth, cleaning whiz Marianne set Mum of 4 Lisa off on a journey towards a tidy house and 2 tidy outhouses.
So, Lisa, tell me what you want out of this room.
I would like the space back and it to be organised.
Lisa's taken the bull by the horns and has been sifting through her clutter, then putting it into piles for clearing out or selling.
Since Marianne's been here, I've been really organised and I've done loads of stuff. So I've got piles for everything. So this is now my wood pile for the fire. Marianne really helped me in deciding what I was going to keep and what I was not going to keep. So I'm chuffed with that. I've got all the kids roped in, so they've been helping me with the decluttering.
Lisa's kids, 10-year-old Oshin and 19-year-old Ayla, have been tasked with loading up the vans with things to sell for a bit of cash.
My mum's doing a car boot sale to sell all her stuff. Hopefully I'll get some pocket money out of it.
And that's going to the skip, son, so you put that in that corner. Right, Ayla, that's going in that shed there. Over here. Good girl, thank you.
And once emptied of £356 worth of change, the fruit machine is heading off too to a local auction.
He's a good boy, is that Scampy? Oh.
There's still plenty to go, so while Lisa, Ayla and Oshin carry on the good work, Curtis is on a mission to get some cash for Lisa. He's with Douglas, hoping to get a decent valuation for her French slate clock.
Obviously, it's a front-winding French slate, but it is a reproduction. However, this type of piece is the type of piece that sells on nostalgia. And nostalgia does sell very well.
Indeed.
The right person, at the right time, at the right auction, easily spend something like up to maybe about £100.
So if I looked around the £100 mark, I shouldn't be disappointed, is what you're saying?
I would say that's right.
Great. OK, marvellous.
At home, rain has stopped play.
Right, darling, come on, the rain's on. Right, where do you want it? Just put the stuff we're keeping back in the shed and then we'll put the stuff we're chucking back in a pile.
Typical Scottish weather, though.
Yeah, you're no kidding. So that stuff's going to the rubbish. That's rubbish, that's tools. Oh, the children have given me so much help, it's absolutely unbelievable. Oshin's been a wee star, Ayla's been a great help. I'm well chuffed, well chuffed. Just looking at it now, it thinks it's brilliant. I can see it all taking shape, and I'll get in my craft room again, get working away.
With one last push of effort.
Do you want to grab them bits there and go and put them in at the front? Put them in the driveway for the skip. Good man. So that's us organised. Pile for the rubbish, that's to go in there. There's another bit for rubbish.
The last van of the day is loaded with an astonishing 18 bags for recycling and 5 bags for charity.
I'm absolutely gobsmacked at how much stuff we've moved and organised. It's more progress I've seen today than we've had in the last 2 years.
It just looks completely different. It's not like my mum anymore. It's not her house. It's weird. I think it'll be good for her though. It's a good change. She needs it, so it'll be good. And I'm happy to help. Happy to help. No bother at all.
And Lisa can finally survey her newly tidied craft room.
Check this out, Scamp. I can't believe how much we've done today. That just looks fantastic. There's no way I could have done this on my own. I'm so glad
I'm so glad I've got 4 children and they all helped. I couldn't have done it without them. I'm so glad Curtis and Marianne came to give me the motivation that I needed. I can see the floor and I can see how I want it now, which is great.
Over the next few weeks, Lisa and her family keep up the good work of decluttering, and Lisa holds a series of successful car boot sales. And now she's preparing for the big inspection of her craft room.
Curtis is a really cool guy, and I don't think he's expecting to come and see it all vamped up and glitzied. It's just normal, it's comfy, it's cosy, it's warm, and I hope he feels that as well. I hope he likes it. He didn't do any of the hard work, he just gets to do the easy bits.
Lisa just has some finishing tweaks to make before Curtis arrives to find out how she's got on and to give her cash for clutter total.
Oh, come on, let's see who's at the door. Curtis, hello, come on in.
Perfect timing, Curtis. Just as Lisa said, pitch up when all the hard work has been done.
You'll need to come and see what I've done to the shed, you'll be so impressed.
I'm following you.
Hopefully.
3 months ago, most of Lisa's living spaces were filled to the brim with exotic ornaments from her travels, bric-a-brac and redundant furniture. Her garden shed cum craft room was so overwhelmed with clutter she couldn't work in there. But now, it's been transformed into a tidy, beautiful, creative haven for Lisa, the me space she dreamed of.
Come in and see my craft room, Curtis. Ta-da! What do you think?
Oh, that is good, isn't it?
You can see the floor.
That's lovely. It really feels like the sort of place you could work in now.
Yeah.
And are you using it, though?
Yeah.
It has taken a huge amount of effort, but now she has the spacious craft room she hoped for.
Well, you've done a fantastic job with this.
Yeah.
What else have you got to show me?
Well, I've got the summer house, but it's not a creative space, it's a relaxing space and a playing games space.
She's right. The summer house has had a complete makeover too. Before, it was no more than a junk room filled to the brim with clutter. But now it's the peaceful oasis it was designed to be, a fully functional summer house to sit in and enjoy.
Dun, dun, dun.
I prefer it to the other room. I don't know why. I just love the intimacy of here. I could sit in here all day. I'd never go in your house if I lived here. They both are so good.
Did you expect them to be like this?
I expected them to be clear.
Yeah.
I didn't expect either of them to be completely made over. It's just brilliant.
Well, I'm glad you like it, Curtis. I'm certainly happy in here. I love it.
I'm glad you're happy. I think it's great. Now, do you want to know how much we've made for you so far?
Yes, I'm down to know.
Lisa's not only decluttered her 2 outside spaces, she's been busy indoors too. Before, her living room was piled high with treasures from her travels all over the world. Now she still has the things she loves, but they've been tidied and displayed so she can see and enjoy them.
You've decluttered this room as well.
Yep, most of it's gone. It's still a lot of stuff, but you can see the floor, you can see the units.
It does all look, I mean, it's still got things in, but it doesn't look cluttered anymore. It looks, well, it looks you.
Not only are Lisa's 2 outhouses and home looking so much better, she has a healthy cash for clutter total of just under £580, including online and auction sales, and that's mainly due to her own sterling efforts at car boot sales. And there's still lots more to come as Lisa plans to keep on selling.
Well, that's not bad.
That's not bad so far. So the money is going to be the holiday to France.
It is, yeah. I've already got some money saved, so I can put what you've got to what I've got and whatever else is going to come in.
Do you think you'll make it?
Well, yeah, I think, yeah, I'll make it.
So this whole decluttering process has been pretty good.
Yeah, it's been refreshing, actually.
You look happier,
Yeah.
I have to say, and
Thank
you look
you.
well.
Thank you, I feel much better. And I definitely won't get this cluttered ever again.
Promise?
Promise.
All Lisa wanted was to reclaim a bit of space for herself, and I think she's done it. Those 2 outside areas look great. I think this is a job well done.